Hello, boys and girls. Today, our story time involves monsters, but not really scary monsters. The book is called Monster Manners, written by Joanna, illustrated by Jared Lee, and published by Scholastic. Rosie Monster looked like a perfect little monster. She had nice strong teeth and sharp little claws and green eyes that glowed in the dark. Rosie had just one problem. She was always forgetting her monster manners. Monsters are supposed to fight with their friends and break each other's toys. Rosie played nicely with everyone. This made her mother very unhappy. Monsters are supposed to growl loudly when they answer the telephone. Grrr. Rosie always forgot and said, "Hello," in a polite voice. Her father found this very upsetting. Monsters are supposed to chew up rocks to show how fierce they are. Good. Yummy. After one bite, Rosie would stop crunching and run for her toothbrush. She didn't like the way the bits of rock got stuck between her teeth. One day when the family was out walking, Rosie even helped an old man across the street. Her mother and father shook their heads. "I'm afraid Rosie will never learn," said her father. "How will she get along in the world?" asked her mother. And here is Rosie saying, "You don't look as if you're 99. And the old gentleman saying, "Thank you." Oh. And there's the parents. Poor child. While they were talking, Rosie's best friend, Prunella, came by. "You have good manners, Prunella," said Rosie. "Will you teach me?" "Sure," said Prunella. Here she is. Oh, she's kicking. I hope that's a stuffed animal. Buzz off. Arf! And there are Rosie's parents. What a gal. So Prunella came over to give Rosie some lessons. "Ready?" "Ready." The first lesson was making monster faces. Prunella showed Rosie how to make monster face number 1, monster face number 2, monster face number 3, and monster face number 4. Then it was Rosie's turn. She tried monster face number 1, then number 2, number 3, and number 4. "That's terrible," said Prunella. "Let's try something else. Maybe you're better at table manners." Oh, here we are at the restaurant. "May I see the menu, please?" "Don't say please, Rosie." Prunella took Rosie to a restaurant and ordered lunch. Everyone fainted when Prunella started to eat. What a horrible sight! Here are the patrons going, "How gross!" Rosie forgot her monster manners as usual. She used her napkin and her fork and spoon, and when she asked Prunella to pass the salt, she forgot again and said please. Prunella was angry. "You're not even trying," she said. Prunella decided to give Rosie one more chance. "This time we will practice our visiting manners," she said. "We'll drop in on my Uncle Ned." Prunella behaved perfectly for a monster. First she rang the doorbell 10 times without stopping, even when she heard her uncle say, "Come in." Then Prunella knocked so hard the door fell down. She went inside and jumped up and down on her uncle's favorite chair. She spilled a vase of flowers on the rug. And finally, she stepped very hard on Uncle Ned's foot. Uncle Ned was proud of Prunella. "Good." But Rosie said, "How do you do?" and sat quietly on the sofa. Uncle Ned was horrified. He asked Prunella to take her friend home until she could learn better manners. Prunella threw up her hands. "I did my best, Rosie," she said. "I can't do any more." Rosie hung her head and followed Prunella. For the first time, Rosie realized how unhappy she had made everyone. And now she felt unhappy too. When Rosie and Prunella got to the monster's house, they saw a big mess. A pipe had broken and water was pouring everywhere. "Help!" cried Rosie. "We're getting flooded!" Rosie's mother and father came running. Rosie's mother called the plumber and growled into the phone. The plumber hung up. Rosie's father called and roared into the phone. The plumber hung up harder. Prunella tried too, but the same thing happened. They were getting nowhere, and the water was getting deeper. It's flooding out of their house. Something had to be done, and Rosie did it. Without thinking, she dialed the phone and said in a nice voice, "Hello, we have a leak at the monster's house. Can you come over, please?" "I'll be right there," said the plumber. "Thank you," said Rosie. After the plumber had left and everything was back to normal, Rosie's mother turned to Rosie's father. "You know, dear," she said, "Rosie's strange manners do come in handy sometimes." "We're lucky to have her," said Rosie's father. "Strange manners and all." They gave Rosie a hug and a kiss and sent her out to play. "Mind your manners, dear," called Rosie's mother from the window. "I will, Mother," answered Rosie. And there she is, playing with her spider and her lizard. Happily ever after. So, that was today's book, Monster Manners, written by Joanna Cole and illustrated by Jared Lee and published by Scholastic. Now, the author you might know from her more popular series, The Magic School Bus. So, and Jared Lee is an illustrator from Ohio. So we've got special connections to this book. Now, this book is also an AR book. It's AR Quiz 14635. It's a 3rd grade level book, and it's worth half a point. So I hope you enjoyed Monster Manners.